Okay, it's close, it's imminent, it's coming soon, it's happening, he's on the plane, but then U-turn, whatever it is. Here we go. Salam sejahtera and welcome to JomUnited. We are a Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Yes, dengan bangganya Buatan Malaysia. If you're new to our channel, do the usual YouTube stuff. Like our videos, share our videos, and of course, do not forget to subscribe. Okay, so guys, yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since we made a video. Okay, so the words that we're all waiting for, the here we go words. It's been like what 20 days since the
2 months,
transfer
I
window
think, is it?
open, all right? 2 months. No lah, not 2 months lah. 20
From the
days lah. It's
rumors,
20 days.
from the
It
rumors,
felt,
from
it
the
felt,
rumors
it felt,
start.
yeah, it felt like 2 months lah. FDJ lah, FDJ lah. Right.
It's
So
like
we're still
52
waiting.
days. The last I saw, we were connected to FDJ.
Yeah, almost 2 months, we've been on the way.
Yeah, so the words, the here we go words from Fabrizio, we are still waiting for that. Basically, it's still coming. Apparently, it's coming soon now. Okay, so probably maybe today, tomorrow, or whatnot. Maybe after this video is released, you never know. All right. So let's jump straight into these guys. Okay, like I mentioned just now, 20 days after the transfer window open. Okay, apart from having a new CEO in the form of Richard Arnold, okay, John Murtaugh in charge of the transfers, and of course, with the new manager, okay, Erik Ten Hag. Right now, they are with, I think, the first day of preseason training. Okay, let's start with Pijal first. No, wait, let's start with Danny first. Danny.
Pijal
so
first
long
lah.
since I think the last,
Danny,
I think, wait, Danny, the last time you were live, who was the manager? LVG, is it?
Somebody worse than him.
Oh, okay, let me just start with this question. Danny, who's the manager of Manchester United now?
Next question, please.
Is Manchester United still in the Premier League?
Don't put me on the spot like this, please.
Okay. No seriousness. Okay, so Danny, with of course the new personnel all coming in and whatnot. Okay, do you see any changes with regards to our previous transfer windows and how we are handling the transfers?
It seems like we are taking our time now to make the right decision, and now we are just aiming for a few players lah. So I think it's okay, but at this point it seems like we don't have a plan B. So we are focusing all our energy on this one player, which is okay. I guess they don't want to kena sabo and pay 20-30 million extra, knowing that Barcelona is desperate, but it's a bit worrying lah. All our focus is going into just one plan. There's no backup plan. Other than that, I think the changes we can only see once the season starts.
So this kind of you talk about basically throwing all your eggs in one basket and whatnot. Do you think it's because of the budget, the budget limitation that we have in Manchester United?
I don't think United has any budget limitations lah. Let's be honest. However bad we are playing, so somebody is making money. I'm pretty sure everybody renewed the membership for United for the coming season and whatnot. But it shows like they're trying to bargain lah. United is not paying over the odds nowadays. They're trying to do something. So that's probably a positive. Other than that,
okay,
wait
but the thing that I think most of us fans who knows what's going on in the background, I think which wasn't really I think exposed in the mainstream media and whatnot, the dividends collected by Glazers, I think that was like last week. Okay, I think worth 11 million. Okay, I'm going to ask Roger, all right, because I know Roger, you got a lot of things to say about the Glazers. Okay, our other pro Glazer, anti Glazer guy is not here. All right, get well soon, Smurf. Right, so Roger, I mean, with us right now, we are trying to rebuild. Okay, with again limited resources and whatnot. Right? How come people like the Glazers, they can still take that? That dividend of 11 million, and then apparently, right, compared to last year, although the shares of United is dropping and whatnot, they are actually getting more money than ever than before. What's your take on that, Roger?
Well, in the first place, you have to look at other clubs, right, and see that actually this doesn't happen at any other club around the world. 52 million. Man. Oh, sorry. Am I back?
Yeah, freezing. Wait, freezing. Okay. All right.
Still freezing.
Glazers hack into our network. All right. So yeah, go ahead.
So you have to wonder how the Glazers are allowed to have this kind of business model. But to be honest, right, 11 million is not a staggering sum. There is a dividend policy in place that applies to the owners, the shareholders. Now, do they need this dividend? They don't. But that's not the point, right? It's entirely their right. But do we as fans actually believe that 11 million is going to stop us from really doing the things we want? That is investing in the team, investing in the stadium, investing in the training ground. And frankly speaking, right, it doesn't. All this while, our spending has been to the discretion of the Glazers. Whether they invest and don't invest, it's whether they feel like it. And looking at the situation at the club, there wasn't just any profit. We actually made a loss of 52 million. So taking dividends is definitely not a good look. But it works both ways, right? If you set a precedent where you bow down to what we want, what the fans want, then in the future, it's going to be hard for them to reverse themselves out of that position, even if we do end up being successful again. So what really is the sticking point is we do not like the fact that they bought our football club without having any football interests. But are they wrong in taking out dividends after especially such a shit season? Morally, yes. Legally, no.
But do you think that, I mean, just now you mentioned that because if like the Glazers were to, like to listen to the fans and whatnot, there would be issues in the future. But then take us back to like somewhere last season, right? Pretty much the end of last season, when we were talking about the protests and whatnot during the Liverpool game and whatnot. They came out with this with this other party masks and whatnot, talking about fair shares and whatnot. So taking in consideration the fans how to say opinion on how the club is were to be run and whatnot. So I mean, we are not seeing that happening right now. So I mean, with what you're saying right now, right? So Glazers is basically just lying to us. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they promised more fan engagement. Joe Glazer came out and said, we're gonna have this fan sharing kind of thing going on, but it's yet to happen. We still hope it'll happen. I, for one, plan to invest when something like that is open to people around the world. But I think football people have been put in charge of football decisions right now. It's still very slow, but we don't seem to be bullied anymore in the transfer market.
Okay, so with regards to being bullied in a transfer market, so Mark, as a Manchester United fan at this very moment, okay, what's your take on our transfer? What do you feel about, I mean, the way the transfer is going? Do you think that we are not held to ransom by, these clubs, or it's just basically the usual spin? The club is trying to cover their butt, to make it seem like we're actually doing something competent.
To be honest, we will never know lah. Truly, we will never know lah, right? But I agree with what Danny said lah. At least now, right, we are not being bullied to just being, to just paying the price tag sum, right? Honestly, right, I know this is going to sound seditious lah. I think the previous guy, I don't want to say name lah, right, agreed to that sum because he's getting money out of it also lah. Honestly lah. Okay. That's my take on it lah. So at least now, right, we are fighting for a fair price. That's why it took so long and stuff like that and everything. I think we have to give credit to them in that sense lah, right? Because if not means I think FDJ was supposed to come in about 80 million, 85 million, I think, right? They were asking price or something like that.
100 million euros lah. So it's about like 85.
Yeah, so that's insane. Like you want to pay another huge sum again? Okay, FDJ may be great and he may be worth all that, but we all know what happened when we paid 80 million for a player last time lah, right? It will destroy that person emotionally and psychologically as well. So lah, I feel lah, right? Whether or not I'm backing that person, I don't want to say the name lah, right? It's a different story lah. But I think it definitely plays a part in how they react during the entire season, right? So of course, it's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating. I think like everybody also told Dom to like just stop sharing tweets, right? Because it's always like
I can't help it. I can't help it.
I know, but it's like on the way,
On
coming
the way,
soon.
it's close. 1 cm, 2
What-
cm after
The
this.
one thing we learn is that these guys have very good vocabulary lah.
Yeah.
They have a very extensive, range of vocab they can use. It's close. Okay, close. It's coming soon. Okay, I thought Malaysians are the best at coming soon, but seems like they're trying to beat us at it lah, right? But nevertheless, one thing that gave me a bit of hope was that if you notice, right, the moment the FDJ deal was a bit more done, I don't dare to say it's done, also a bit more done, they supposedly went and hijacked that Tyrell
Malaysia.
Malaysia. We will learn how to say his name if he becomes a United player, okay, or when he becomes a United player. And it made sense, right? They say like, because obviously if they had to pay for 80 mil, 85 mil, or whatever it is for FDJ, they wouldn't have enough to pay for him. You see, if you go and add his sum up and FDJ sum, right, it actually comes up to about 80 odd mil. So
But if you think about the dividends that he actually took out, the 11 mil, we could have gotten him much earlier. I mean, of course, because
11 mil
Leon,
also cannot pay for him.
No, because
Cannot
Leon
pay
actually
for him.
went in, I think it's like what, 12 million, their initial offer.
Yeah,
and then
I think in
apparently
the end,
it was a here we go. We hijacked we hijacked the thing.
We
But then,
hijacked, I think, but in the end, I think we are paying 15 in total for him, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, 12 plus 2
Plus
million
a 3 and
stuff
add-ons,
like that.
and
Yeah,
it comes
they're
up to
using
15 or
add-ons and
something like that.
whatnot.
But
Yeah, exactly,
But in
exactly.
all honesty, right, whatever it is, the dividend, right, they cannot not take it out, I feel. Like what Roger said, morally, yeah, it doesn't look nice, right? But I think when it's in contract already, right, they have to just redraw. But of course, if they want to go and spin it, put a marketing spin to it and please the fans, that they say like, oh, we're going to funnel this money back into the club and stuff like that. But because like right now also, there's a case going on, right, with one of these famous players supposedly paying off the salary of a certain club.
Oh, yeah,
Again, we don't want to say names because it's supposedly under investigation. As nice as the gesture is, right, it's against the law of the land. It's against the law of the land. So to that extent, yes, I mean, because some of us are business owners, so we do understand, how corporates are structured and how dividends are paid out and stuff like that. So it's not as simple as, oh, okay, let's just take the dividend money and then put it into the transfer funds and things like that. Obviously, those things have to be considered as well. So in that aspect, yes, okay, maybe we, but I absolutely agree with Roger, right? Like morally, it's not right. Don't even talk about the shit season. Your company didn't even make profit. Don't even talk about football club. What is a company? Your company didn't even make profit, but director nicely sapu a big chunk of a bonus. Take it as a bonus. You do it in any corporate company out here, your employees will flip table and walk out. Right? But back to the transfer story, I think conclusion is, it is frustrating, but it's nice to see that there are some movements. I would like to be a bit naive and say like, FDJ has always just been a smokescreen, right? Because the fact that the Tyrell Malaysia that deal suddenly just came in, I don't think it suddenly just came in. I think it has always been there, or they already have their cards ready, right? And it's just waiting to see like how we're going to play our cards, what we can play our cards. Because I think now even Martinez and who else?
We got Martinez,
Anthony.
Eriksen also. I'm a bit Anthony. I'm not convinced to be honest. But at least Martinez one, we are up there as well. So with Arsenal that one also, Fabrizio also reported that we are.
It could be that
race,
AX is actually using us to actually raise the money, because again, Arsenal is desperate. They are always
for
desperate.
Sure.
No,
but that's definitely the case, because now United is coming in as like they're wiping out their entire workforce.
Yes.
I mean, let's be fair to Ajax I mean, like if you take Timber, you take Anthony, you take Martinez, right? These buggers have left with nothing. They're left with nothing.
We'll jump into more detail later when we talk about the AX and whatnot. Okay, so let's pass the mic to Pija Pija, kasihan Pija. So I think just now, Pija, muted. You're muted.
Yeah. Apa dia?
I think just now Mark was talking about Ole, I think. But anyway. Anyway.
Move on, dog. Move on.
Okay. So I just want to ask you, a question that we see. I mean, in our group also, we saw this kind of reaction from the fans when we were following the transfer. Saga, so to speak, of the FDJ and whatnot. At times fans were like so happy, we were so positive, and at times we were also pissed off and whatnot. So do you think that we fans, United fans, we are overreacting with all these kind of movements and what? Or do you think, like Mark mentioned, this is all planned already? It's a smoke screen at what? They are smoke screen in the background, and then in the background they're actually doing some work. They already got all the players already. They're just waiting to click and play the piano video or whatever it is. What do you think, Pija?
I think my honest opinion, yes, definitely we are always overreacting fans. We are definitely an overreact. Kalau kita sign player yang bukan, yang orang kata over the top, kita marah. Bayar lebih, marah. Bayar kurang, marah. Tak bayar, marah. Jual, marah. Tak jual pun marah. So macam mana? So apa patut
Bro,
Man United?
you jangan cakap pasal Smurf macam ni ya.
Janji jangan suruh support Liverpool. I mean cakap pasal Liverpool. Jangan. Smurf, I love you bro. I love you bro. Just kidding lah.
When he doesn't have the mic, right? Kick the guy when he's down.
Dislocated.
Mana betul. Memang apa it seems like whatever that the Man United or the board are doing ataupun Glazers lah in that extent, apa-apa yang orang buat seolah macam tak kena tau. Beli marah, tak beli marah. Lepas tu kalau tak promote you pun marah. So apa patut dia orang buat? So for me lah, this is my opinion about the transfer window. I think I might be the only one yang macam I don't really care whoever player kita sign. Kalau kita tak sign player pun I tak kisah, because I really want to see what Erik ten Hag can do with this group of players. Kalau dia kata ada player ni memang tak boleh main, he can promote the youth player. Kita nampak how many players macam Garnacho kita ada Zidane, macam tu siapa Denny ada beritahu pasal ada this left back punya player kan. Alvarez kan. I'm so looking forward to have that players given a chance for the first season about Erik ten Hag. I'm sure fans are gonna back up Erik ten Hag and see what he can do with this group of players. Macam cakap lah, kita dah waste time like 2 months lah after the season ends, suddenly FDJ kan. Kita dah waste 2 months of chasing just one player. I takut sangat whatever happens masa Moyes jadi dekat Erik ten Hag. Tahu, Moyes nak sign 3 players. Fabregas, Bale and also Cruz if I'm not mistaken. Then last dia dapat apa? Pokok. So kita tak nak benda yang sama berlaku. Kita fokus pada FDJ. We focus on the FDJ je. Suddenly end of season kita dapat siapa? Anton je. Mana tahu kan? Anton ni kan. For example kan. Ataupun we got some players from Everton ke from mana-mana job apa. Suddenly dapat apa? Josh King lah for example kan. That will be the worst type of player kita nak. So kita tak nak benda tu jadi.
Josh King is that Norwegian player that I think one of our managers wanted, right? That's like, you pandai selit. I was actually, just now I thought you were going to say, whatever happens, so as long as they bring back,
Tapi betul lah. Tapi the way I see that, let's just don't hope for any signings lah. As of now, just tunggu je season start, tunggu je friendly start. Kita tengok apa yang Erik ten Hag has do, especially on the tactical side of the game. Dapat buat benda tu, jadi kita tahu kita dah nampak apa yang dia nak main, dan daripada situ kita boleh tengok mungkin nanti end of the season nanti mungkin kita boleh discuss which player yang sesuai untuk Erik ten Hag guna. Sebab sekarang ni pun I'm sure lah at least 3 or 4 of us tak tahu apa taktikal yang Erik ten Hag guna. So tu yang a bit susah kita nak judge tu. So tu je lah.
Okay,
But I would like to add on to Pijal's frustration. I think the main frustration about a lot of fans is we put up with the results for the last 6 months, knowing that what's his name, RR was there to do his exposing and build the thing, so that when ETH Erik ten Hag comes, pre-season starts off, he doesn't need to do all this work.
Yes.
Everything should have been set up. And some of the results were really bad, but we put up with it knowing that there's a plan in place at last. Suddenly come end of season, Ralf Rangnick leaves, ETH comes, and the whole process starts over again. We need to bid for this player, that player. Everything, our players are supposed to leave, and the incoming players are already supposed to be ready for this week to start pre-season.
Correct.
So I think that is part of the big frustration. So now it seems like it's becoming repetitive.
Yep, true. I can deny that, but then I heard about the rumors of Erik ten Hag is the one yang tak nak Ralf Rangnick macam like be part of the decision making of the squad tau. So
problem. But the last 6 months worth of research or whatever that happened, that we all could see what was going wrong in the club, should have been solved by now. Should not have been carried forward to. Should not be Ten Hag's headache already.
But then, like what Smurf favorite words, clean slate. Everyone is a clean slate, you know.
His favorite word is
Actually,
not clean slate lah. It's clean shaven lah. Wait, clean shaven.
yeah, clean shave.
Yeah, Mark, you wanted to say something?
No, because like actually, if you go and look into the Twitterverse and stuff like that, right? I know Ten Hag said like clean slate, right? But I just read another tweet, right, that said that there's potentially 9 more players who are going to leave. So I feel honestly, I feel Ten Hag of course I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt now, right? I'm happy to be proven wrong, but I feel right he's quite smart with mind games as well, so I feel I have a feeling right? You just look at the way he conducts himself and things like that and all. You know, a lot of times with these type of things it's like magician. They will show you what they want you to see only. But underneath, right, you don't know what's going on at the back. And then pop, suddenly something come out of that. But you know, to a large extent, I agree with Pijal. FDJ, no FDJ or whatever, okay lah. It's like other is like lagi best lah. Kalau tak ada, I also won't cry lah. Because actually, I'm more interested to see what can go on with this existing. Yes, of course, there's like what Pijal says is true. We don't know where the hole is yet. Ultimately, truly, we don't know where the hole is yet, right? Rather than go and rush and simply go and get everybody say CDM. And then after we also had this discussion in a group. Maybe we don't even need a CDM.
True.
Because Ten Hag doesn't play with a CDM.
Correct.
He plays, like you say, he plays with a box-to-box kind of thing like that. But then you see, even Goldbridge also keeps saying, oh, we need a CDM. I don't know. Do we need one? I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. But that's 80 million, 70 million kind of decision, and you shouldn't take that lightly. That's why
but since you brought this up, right, Mark, a question to you straight away. All right, if like for example, if we are investing the large chunk of our money into someone like FDJ, right, do you think he can actually show his display his full potential? All right, partnering with whatever midfields that we have at this very moment.
Potentially, because Van der Beek is there as well, and he's played with Van der Beek before. You know, we have to understand that, right? Fred is there as well. Fred may not be the most intelligent player on the field, but the bugger also he's like the 4-lung Park lah, but at least Park Ji-sung got brain lah. You know, Fred also got 4 lungs lah. The fella really runs lah. That one we have to give it to him lah. Right. So I don't know.
But then Mark, Pogba and Fred also it didn't work. Pogba, you're talking about a world-class player, and then it's in recent times also, right? What do you think about that?
Disagree.
Disagree.
Roger, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Roger.
No, overrated. Pogba's overrated.
I share the same sentiment. Yeah, go ahead, Roger. Go ahead.
Back to the previous, like what we were discussing, right? Whether we are frustrated or whether we are overreacting, right? I think our reactions and frustrations are perfectly in line with the state of the club at the moment. I think we can all agree, right? What we do not want is a repeat of last season. So we've lost a huge chunk of the first team, and as of this moment, none of them have been replaced. Yeah, this coupled by the fact that other teams around us, the speed at which they have carried out their transfer activity, right, I think gives us more than enough reason to be frustrated. Better teams than us have improved. We have we have regressed. Yeah. So back to the question, yeah. Are we overreacting? Absolutely not.
Fair point.
Good point.
Fair point. Yeah. But then the thing is, right, that's why I say, like, in the group, right, honestly, right, as a fan, this is my personal opinion, of course. We finished 6th last season, right? Next season, if we finish 5th also, right, I'm honestly going to be okay with that. Because, like, you see, like what Pijal said, right, just because ETH has this thing coming in and all, don't expect miracles to happen in the next year, you know. If, let's say, you want to go with Pijal style, right, that's going to take at least, like, let's just say, you know, that's what's happening, right? We don't get the player we want, you know, when the shits and everything and all. It's going to take at least 2 seasons, you know. Next season, we see where the lubang is. Okay? Like Roger said, we haven't replaced them. Okay, maybe Pijal said we replace them with some youth players first. Okay lah, try lah. At this stage, right, what can be worse, right? You know, try lah. Let it go for all season. By next season, or maybe middle of the, you know, the January transfer window or whatever, maybe we can try to grab somebody. I mean, we managed to grab Bruno in the Jan window at that time also, right? So that is something that we all have to be ready to accept as well, you see. But for me, it's right, just don't fail over the same mistakes lah. I think a lot of fans are okay if we fail, but like the frustration, like what was it? We feel same thing, right? McFred doesn't work. Do again, play again, same thing, play the same thing, expecting different result. Wow, gila lah.
True. That means you're talking about the minor changes lah. We are not expecting something huge or challenging for the
Hey,
title
look,
or Champions
the
League.
thing
Why
and
we
is-
whatnot
bring
like that.
Marshall back for? We already tried, cannot work. What
Dey!
Mark is trying to say?
No. Oh.
Hey, no.
Sorry,
I'm
I
clean
misunderstood.
slate.
I misunderstood.
I
said-
forward
I
you all
said
the
clean
script
slate.
already, right? And then the disclaimer is do not talk about Martial like that, okay? You all don't psycho the new guy, lah, right? He's confused. He said, Martial, such a huge talent. Why you talking about him like that? Right, Roger? Right?
Never.
No, the thing is, then I know Jai also said like, don't be so pessimistic. It's not about pessimism. It's about being realistic, right? If we win cups, great. I'm going to be there. I'm going to celebrate, right? But if we don't, I'm being realistic about it, right? Of course, I want United to win. You deep down inside, I want United to be champion next season. But I'm
Okay.
not 5.
Okay, let's jump into the transfer. Let's talk a bit about the transfer, lah, right? The FDJ, dragging and whatnot, right? So, Danny, right? I don't know whether you're up to date with the recent transfer news, but I'm going to shoot this question to you, lah, right? With this never ending FDJ saga, do you think that this will actually affect our other signings apart from that's hijack deal and whatnot, lah? Do you think that the subsequent players that actually come in, will it be affected by our deal not being closed in a short period of time?
Affected in what way? Whether
I
we
mean,
want to
okay,
come
for
to United
example,
or not.
like the players that we can actually get, the other players, they're already snatching all the good talents and whatnot. Okay, you talk about Darwin Nunes, players like that and whatnot. Then you're talking about right now, they're trying to rate AX for the centre backs and whatnot. So, being in this kind of situation, for example, you're talking about AX. AX already sold the players they need to sell, 3 players, if I'm not mistaken. They do not need to sell anymore. So if just say we actually settled the FDJ saga much earlier on, whether we got him or we didn't get him, we could actually proceed to buy players like Anthony, Timber, or we can buy the whole double, the centre back pairing. We can just buy it with a relatively cheap price. But now with our current situation, with the market, a lot of teams, they already got their players and whatnot. They don't really need to sell and whatnot. So the price is probably much, much higher. And then, of course, you get competition and whatnot from the other clubs. So what's your take on that, Danny?
Okay, last year's narrative was we did whatever the board wanted to. They decided everything and whatnot. So ETH came in and he has a plan. So I think for now, since we trusted him with the job, let's follow his plan. We don't know whether Nunes or all these other players was actually players that he wanted. Because you're on Twitter every day, this is the problem. Everybody is being linked with Manchester United.
It's like
If he
every
wants
hour.
FDJ, I understand. Probably he needs some of his people to run the team. Let's be honest, ETH isn't the biggest name out there. That's not many players who is just going to roll over and come to Manchester United. May be big, but your manager still needs a bit of pull because players don't know so much about him, about his style. So not many people are going to be confident. Like, okay, if I go to United, I'm definitely going to get better. So I think we just need to be a bit patient. Let ETH do what he's supposed to do. At least let the season start before we start judging all around. But I think if he cannot get FDJ, I'm sure he has his backup plans. But now the problem is he can't pull his own players from AX. I don't know whether LVG is
that one
in everybody's head.
a bit difficult lah. That one a bit difficult lah. Yeah.
But he needs to have some sort of advantage. You see, okay, let's, as bad as Ole was, at least he could bring somebody like possibly Haaland could have come, one of his boys. So now with ETH coming, Zlatan came
I
very
doubt
openly
it, though.
because he knew
I
Mourinho
doubt
was
it,
there.
though. Fair.
Yeah, I doubt it, but
True.
you have some
Zlatan came because
connection.
of Mourinho. Yep. Correct.
So FDJ is his boy. We should have settled it by now. But then if everybody is seeing these are simple things, you can't get the free transfer over, it starts to seep in everybody's mind. Nobody wants to touch Manchester United. But like Pijal said, even if nobody comes or what, he still has a job to do. There's still players to be coached. But we follow what his plan is. No use we aim for every player and then ETH doesn't want them. Then we end up like the Sanchez situation with Mourinho, or. So that's my take. Just let's be patient a little bit more. Frustrating.
Jom, I tanya you. If let's say
Tanya Adios, are you? Okay. See you.
If we, let's say we don't sign anybody, you are happy with that?
With the players that actually left, like with Matic, and then of course with the Greenwood situation and one, I think it's very risky lah. I think it's very risky. We need to at least fill up those holes lah. At least we need to fill up those
At
holes.
least one lah. No, but worst case, let's say worst case nobody comes lah, which is quite unlikely. But worst case nobody's come lah.
Betul?
We will, worst case nobody come, I will be worried lah. I'll be worried lah. It will be like an experimental season next season because I cannot take any more of this kind of like I cannot take another episode of us going on air like the usual stuff. It's like it gets very, very tiring, and then it's like it sucks to watch football, but we gotta watch it because we are United and we are in JomUnited and whatnot. So I want to enjoy the game of football. At least I have the sense of that sense of, how to say, what's that word to describe the feeling? The security lah, knowing that 45 minutes, that 90 minutes is not going to be pure crap lah, that kind of stuff.
But
So
Dom,
that-
let's be
yeah.
honest. What did Matic and Pogba produce in the last one season?
Betul.
No,
that you're going
not
to miss
really
this
Pogba.
much?
Did I mention Pogba? I didn't mention Pogba.
No,
I
you
mentioned
mentioned
Matic,
Pogba.
right?
Okay,
Matic,
what about
lah.
Matic?
right?
Like,
Things like that.
It got
It's
lah.
not like it
Old man
was-
Matic
Come on,
still.
Matic actually
Half a
contributed
season?
to the team. Yeah,
5 games?
it's-
10 games?
No,
He was our
I think
best
it's definitely-
midfielder.
Yeah, definitely, hands down.
For
No,
15
I was
minutes,
honestly-
20
arguing with
minutes.
Smurf
Come
about
on,
this
second
thing.
half of the season.
Come on.
absolutely
I was
gone.
arguing with Smurf about this thing. I was arguing
No
with
lah,
Smurf about
not-
Yeah,
this
he
that
can
bad
give you
lah.
a 45 minutes. No, I'm not
Yes.
saying that. You're saying like we have lost somebody that's very big. Matic can give you 45 good minutes every
No,
3 games.
honestly,
Maybe. He
right?
can't play every
I
game.
think without Matic, no, sorry, because okay, fair enough. But without Matic, right? We bring him in, we suck him in for that 25, 20 minutes or whatever it is, right? That makes a difference,
That
Now-
20 minutes was nice to watch. The simple
Okay,
Regardless
now
lah,
you're talking
regardless
about
lah,
38
regardless.
games.
Yeah,
That's
he
called
still
the cup
played
lah,
how many?
38
Dude, he's
games.
I don't
doing
know
the
how many.
pausing
Okay,
thing
go and
again.
find,
He's doing the
find.
He's doing
Now
the
suddenly,
pausing
no,
thing.
my biggest issue with Mati is that suddenly when he left, now all United fans suddenly appreciate him, so. Whereas
I-
when
No lah,
when
we
he
always
was there,
okay,
when he
wait,
was
wait,
there,
wait.
we were like,
Okay,
we were like
personally, Matic, right? He has his on and off lah. I think like 2 seasons back he was a liability. I think last season he was fantastic. His first season when came in he was fantastic.
last season fantastic. You say
Pretty
about
much. I think every time that Matic play, right, we actually played better. I mean, generally lah, from our standard of United football, like at least we can watch. At least the ball is going
made
forward.
A difference, lah.
At least he holds
made a
the
difference, lah.
ball. He has the confidence to hold the ball, the composure to hold the ball, and whatnot, which we don't see with the other midfields.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course, we are
He
at
won't
the
be
bare
playing much
minimum
this
lah.
season.
Sorry.
He
What's
played a lot 3 seasons ago. He played little bit more games 2 seasons ago. Last season he played very less games.
He still
Do
played-
you think he's going to
he-
find extra energy to come out this
No,
whole
I
season?
know he shouldn't stay lah. He should go already lah, no doubt lah.
Yes,
But
yes. No,
just to share
just-
with you last
Ah.
season, right? He still played 23 games
Okay,
Do that
how many
to-
minutes accumulatively?
Wait.
16
Actually,
matches lah, fool.
okay.
Come on.
Actually, I
16 matches in
shouldn't.
full.
I shouldn't
Okay,
have
seven-
let's
mentioned
say
like
this way lah.
seven
Let's put
matches.
it this way. Let's put it this way. Van der Beek got 50 appearance for Manchester United.
Wait. Let me rephrase. Okay, let me rephrase this. If not, it's gonna be a. This is gonna be a Matic discussion. Let me rephrase it. With the holes that we have in our team, regardless whichever player that went out, right? I will be worried if we go in the new season with our current players, and then we try and fill it in with youth and whatnot. I'll be very, very worried, So
why? Aren't you like should be excited that suddenly we can see the real youth player yang memang macam
Not
yang-
necessary,
No,
because
I think that the excitement, right, of a new manager like Erik ten Hag coming in, right? I want to somehow see, at least in the first season. Again, I'm not expecting us to win anything. At least we can see a style, a philosophy of football. Okay, that would be much easier achieved if we have certain players, not the whole 9 players or 10 players, at least 3-4 players to fill in certain gaps, at least to see something moving. Like the targets that he's aiming for, like Frankie De Jong, and then of course the Timber and whatnot, and then the left back, right back, the full backs and whatnot. At least I think this is his backbone that he actually need to play his style of football. So that I feel would be, how to say, at least we can see it from the start. We can see something like that. Of course, it won't be as smooth, but of course, compare it to filling in with like youth players that he's not comfortable with, and they are also not aware of Erik Ten Hag's system of playing and whatnot. Our preseason, we got how much time? We got like 1 month. 1 month, how much can you learn? So do you want to wait like half a season or what of crap football? Then and then probably JomUnited will be on a holiday for like few months.
Last season Manchester United only have 3 days to learn high gang pressing.
How did that turn out? How did that turn out?
How did that turn out for us?
And also
No,
bear in mind,
Dom, let me ask you one question.
yo. Okay.
Or anybody. Do you think all the players that left Manchester United would have left if Erik Ten Hag wanted them or needed them? Do you think Ten Hag would have let all these players go if he really needed them?
No, of course not. He doesn't need them. I agree with you. But the point is that there's still gaps lah. Whether or not, it's not to say like, wow, Matic was the best player, we rely on him last season. That's not the point. The point is that, right, now Matic is gone. Okay, who fills up that role usually? I don't know, maybe Fred, McTom or whatever. Okay, fine. If, let's say, Fred or McTom is injured, right, who's going to take over it? You need to have somebody who can sub in for them lah.
Okay, so now in my opinion is, we are all focusing on this 4-4-2 or whatnot. We are not talking about Erik Ten Hag's plan. If he's letting them go, maybe their position is not necessary for him. Or even if Matic still stays, how sure are we that Matic is going to fit into his?
Correct. No, you're right. And I don't think we disagree with that. But what we're trying to say is that regardless, we are still that many amount of personnel short lah.
Yes, correct.
So it's
no
either,
problem lah.
it's
If
either
Ten Hag needs to, we need to clear. We need to. Sorry, my opinion.
For sure.
If we need to clear. I feel we need to let Ten Hag do his work. If he falls short,
for sure,
that's on him lah. His plan. This is his team, his progress and whatnot. But I don't think letting go all these players really was going to affect us. Is going to affect us this much.
I think it'll affect the squad depth lah.
Letting them go, yes, but then we have to fill it back with certain players that suit his style.
Understood. Agree.
Squad depth lah. I think more towards squad depth lah, if anything.
Yeah, squad depth. And another thing, if you go into the season like this, right, with a slow start, with a lot of crappy games and whatnot, right, the fans, our United fans will probably, start turning on Erik Ten Hag, and then we have all this kind of toxic kind of thing again, which I really, really want to avoid lah. For once, for maybe 10 games in a row, I want to just enjoy football lah. Okay, so Roger, I'm going to ask you this question, all right? We are talking about transfers and whatnot, right? So with this FDJ saga dragging on and whatnot, do you think that we will actually get the personnel, the players that he won from AX? I think it's right now it's Anthony and this Martinez. So do you think that we can actually get them?
AX,
Roger.
it looks like Ajax have already been raided lah. You see Bayern coming in for Gravenberg, Mazzari, Haller has left. I'm not sure whether it's still possible. If we had moved in earlier, we might have been able to get a couple over the line for reasonable fees. But now the prices slapped on Anthony and Martinez are quite high. So in my opinion, a lot of it will depend on how much is left in our budget after the 2 deals go through, or how our officials negotiate their favorite add-ons.
Okay. So I think I'll ask Pijal on this lah, Pijal. So I mean, with now another place that we are actually linked to is this Christian Eriksen, all right, who's on a free. Okay, so he's deciding between Brentford and Manchester United. So what's your take on that? And how far do you think we have actually fallen to? People have to actually really, really consider so hard whether they want to join Manchester United or not.
I think this Christian Eriksen punya issue, I don't think we should go for it lah, regardless of whether he's free or not free. Tak payahlah nak waste the resources of the gaji tu nak bayar Eriksen. We should go to maybe develop training facilities instead of wasting that, because I don't think Eriksen ni can offer much lah, because dia kata sebab lah, you can see dekat the setup yang dia main dekat Brentford tu, he is more like attacking the Bruno punya position now. So let's say lah, for example lah, kita dapat lah FDJ kan, and then where are you gonna put Bruno there? Because we have that players yang memang main attacking side, and then we have the Donny van de Beek yang boleh juga main dekat posisi yang Bruno dan juga position yang Christian Eriksen main. So yelah, as much as he is a very good player, no doubt about it, very very good player. Memang kalau nak comparekan between Donny van de Beek ke ataupun Ghana dengan siapa, agak ke memang tak sama level lah kan. Hannibal ke tak kisahlah, tapi they are not on the same level. But then don't waste time to get another old player lah. Enough lah dengan
But
Cristiano.
Pija, what if the Bruno of last season turn up for next season? What if
Bruno of first season turn up next season?
Pija, can I ask you one question? You
Yeah.
just said Eriksen was better than half of midfield, but you don't want him here.
Yeah, I don't want. Because I want Erik ten Hag to build this player become on par with Christian Eriksen, because to be honest, Christian Eriksen not gonna stay here like more than 2 seasons. So don't just waste time. I don't want
But he's
another.
free.
But for our
He's free,
transitional
available,
period,
and he's better than half of midfield.
our
Yeah, you won't
transitional
take him.
period, don't you think that it's good to have him like maybe for 1 year or 2 year?
I don't know. My issue because of kita ada ni lah. We have youth player. I really want to see youth player lah for next season. I don't care about another signed old player coming in, making
Who
some
is the
changes.
youth player going to learn from, bro? Besides Ronaldo,
Huh?
who are the youth players going to
YouTube
be?
lah, YouTube. We all
Yeah,
been watching Ariel Malaysia YouTube videos, okay? So
I think they have enough role model. They have Bruno there. They have what they call it. Siapa tu nama dia? Ronaldo there. They have Martial and also Rashford to learn from.
Hey, you please rewind back again. Please rewind and then what is the last name you told?
Okay, settle. I agree with Pija.
I think the role
We
model
don't
is
need
enough.
Eriksen.
We have two enough. Ronaldo and Bruno is the enough role model that they can have. Tau.
I think Ronaldo is gonna be there for 1 year, bro. Ronaldo is
That's okay
gonna.
lah. One
yeah.
season is enough.
You watch Bruno every week. He gets tackled, right? He doesn't get a decision, right? And I don't know, like.
Imagine,
Imagine I mean?
two, three of the youth player doing that. Right? Me picking Bruno, rolling on the floor. That
Yeah, it's not what we want to see. We just now we mentioned Matic, right? We have to add Mata to that group as well, because two professionals. You don't talk about Pogba, yeah. Don't talk about Pogba. Don't talk about all these overrated shits. Mata and Matic, model professionals have left. Eriksen, right, can take that mantle because he's at that age. But you got to look at it from his point of view also lah. The man basically died and came back to life.
Yeah, correct.
Puts a perspective on things, right? Do I want to play football every week at Brentford?
True.
Or do I want to sit on the bench at United?
True.
Yeah, and I agree with Pija. He's much better suited to a Ten Hag system in the sense where he takes the place of Bruno. I would say that he starts ahead of Bruno because Bruno loses the ball. Hollywood passes and all that. But then you have to think about where Van der Beek fits in as well.
True.
That's 3 players in the number 10 position.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, but I think personally, Ten Hag has already spoken to him. It seems that Ten Hag has not promised him that he will start every game. So that's why, maybe that's why he's thinking so much about it.
Okay, Mark, a question to you. Okay, with regards to what we were talking about, with the youth and with the signings and whatnot, right? To get the perfect balance, lah. Okay, and of course, realistically, with our budget, our limited budget, how many signings minimum do you think we actually need to at least help kickstart Erik ten Hag's managerial journey in Manchester United, lah, to make it a somewhat successful first season for him, lah?
Wow, this is tough. Honestly, if you ask me, I think minimum also need 3 lah. Striker or forward. Now people say forward lah, right? Forward, somebody in midfield, and then somebody in the back 4 lah. I feel that's at least the bare minimum he needs lah, right? Because he needs at least one of his guy, right? His kind of guy in these areas. Because like what Danny said, like FDJ is his boy. Ten Hag just say something only. Boss, I know what you're saying already. I know what you're talking about. I know the system that you're talking about already. Okay. So he goes in there, then he leads the people inside there. Right? Or he tells them, guys, it's actually like that. Okay. Up front, I don't know what he has in mind with Ronaldo and stuff like that and all also. That's why to a large extent, I really agree with Pijal, because like, I really don't. I mean, we know lah, Ten Hag at Ajax, he played a 4-2-3-1 and stuff like that, right? But if you go and watch T4 Football's latest video, is very good. You see the 2018 team of Ten Hag's team, and then 2021, 2022, right? It's very different, no?
Changes,
How they attack,
changes.
the how they attack, the way they move the ball, the crosses and everything, very, very different, because they, few players left here. Then, so that also in a way give me confidence with Ten Hag lah. Right, because when he lost FDJ, when he lost Van der Beek, when he lost all these guys, then he had to replace all these holes as well. So you see, which he did do lah. People gonna argue, yeah, but the Eredivisie is a Farmers League or what? I mean, Farmers League or not, people still champion lah, right? We all still sitting six lah, so respect a bit lah. Right. So to that extent, I think to answer the question, minimum 3, I would say. Right. Of course, the more the merrier. Yeah, but let's just, I think like what Danny said, really just give him the space lah. As fans, I think we just really have to give him the space, and the space is not one season lah, by the way. It needs to be at least 2 to 3 seasons lah. Right? Yeah.
Pijal, question to you. Okay, before we wrap this up, lah. Okay, with regards to the youth and whatnot, lah. Because you are like the representative of Smurf, lah. Okay, we need to talk about the youth. Okay, the youth. You answer for Smurf, lah. Okay, so how do you see the youth involvement in the team, the coming season of Manchester United? Do you think that Erik ten Hag is the type of person who would actually, make use of the bare minimum that he has with minimum signings, and he will actually fill it up with the youth?
I think even though dia mungkin lah, maybe dia tak suka dengan apa yang terjadi, mungkin there's no signing kan, but then he has to do whatever that he has lah. Maksudnya kalau katakan, yalah macam biasa lah, kalau katakan you buat kerja, suddenly ada staff keluar lari, you nak buat macam mana, then you have to do whatever resources that you have lah. Buat je lah apa yang you mampu kan. So with regards to Erik ten Hag, dia tak dapat sign player, then buat apa yang dia boleh buat dengan apa yang ada lah. Kalau dia terpaksa main Harry Maguire, then main je lah Harry Maguire, tapi janganlah bagi dia captain. Itu je lah, for example kan. That will be an example lah. But then yelah, kalau katakan dia ada, there's a position yang mungkin I boleh nampak lah. I really rasa dia memang akan promote the youth, because kalau dia tak promote youth, dia akan letak 2 goalkeeper dekat bench.
You can never let it go lah. You just will never let it go lah. Aduh.
Boleh lah. Apa? Tapi don't just waste time in terms of just because tak dapat nak sign player, then dia macam Bruno kan, meronta-ronta macam tu kan, kita tak dapat sign. Then itulah, just promote youth lah. I really hope for the new season is the season of class of 2022 ke 23 kan, for example macam tu je lah.
Okay, last question, Danny. The existing squad, right? Which player do you think you got high hopes that they will actually take it up a notch from the previous seasons, or rediscover their form?
Rashford and Sancho lah. I think he's gonna thrive under ETH. But I really hope they don't follow Pijal's way of bringing up all the youth class of 2022. Class of 1992 is normally it would not happen ever again. Even they had 5 to 6 senior players.
Betul lah.
Maybe even 10 senior players to guide them. There is no way. Maguire is going to be their role model.
Hey, we have lots of captain over there. Ronaldo
okay,
captain.
bro, since you spoke about the workplace, there's no way the fellow who finished SPM is going to become senior supervisor or manager. He needs to get some sort of experience, learn from a proper leader, and then go up himself. If the company puts all SPM players as manager, koya raba, bro.
Agree.
Also, if the youth is good enough, they'll get promoted. Let's not just try and push the agenda of let's put youth. If they're good, they'll go through.
You have to remember. You have to remember also, Pijal, if you put the youth there, these guys are still young and developing. You throw them into the deep end and sink or swim. If they sing, suruh dia datang cari Amin Gombak. My whole football career ruined because Amin Gombak.
But guys, I'm actually very hurt lah. I'm very hurt with Danny lah. I mean, 6 months I haven't seen you and whatnot. So when I asked you about this potential player,
I haven't finished, bro. I changed topic.
You got carried away. You mentioned Sancho and Rashford only lah.
I'm subscribing to Marshall FC lah. I think this is the make it or break it season lah. If he can't work under ETH, he really needs to hop on the same bus as Pereira and go off.
Hey,
Okay
really,
lah.
how much this fella pay you to say that?
Okay lah, your emergency
Side deal,
leave
side
all from
deal.
JomUnited all I approve lah. Okay lah, all approve lah. Okay, all approve lah. Okay, and with that, guys, thanks for joining us for this episode. Like usual, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Good night.